Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Svetlana. I'm the Partnerships Director for Getty Images.
And I'm Petra. I'm the Senior Creative Research Editor here at Getty, and I'll be the creative lead on the This is Australia collection this year.
We will share with you today the This is Australia program, which is an exciting collaboration between Getty Images and Canon. And we'll talk about how you can take part in it. To begin with, ask yourself a question. What does Australia look like to you? Authentic, everyday Australian life is quite unique and it's diverse. However, you don't always see that reflected in the visuals around you, in media and advertising. And this is what we're aiming to change with This is Australia. This is Australia is an image library. It is a part of the global Getty Images stock collection of photographs. These images are used by marketing and media customers to tell their stories. We started creating it last year together with Canon, and all pictures in it are shot by Australian photographers in Australia, in all the different parts of the country. And when you join the program, your work will be part of this image library and will be presented to over 1 million Getty Images customers globally. It will give you the platform to earn from your art, while you in turn will support the need to showcase our real and diverse Australia as we know and love it. This is the collection page on the Getty Images website. You can explore it using the web address you see on your screen. You can have a look at some of the featured shoots and photographers we already work with. So you might be asking yourself, all right, so what's in it for me? Why should I join? There are quite a few reasons. As we mentioned, you do help us create a new visual library of Australia, and we ask you to show us how you see it. Importantly, you will earn money doing what you love and taking images. You can connect with a community of talented creatives in Australia and around the world when you become a contributor to Getty Images. And you will find inspiration to develop your creative skills and try something new. And what we are looking for, most of all, is a new generation of photographers. Whether you do photography on the site and want to feel the satisfaction of your content being in demand and being used, or maybe you're a professional photographer who wants creative freedom. Whether you're a stay-at-home parent and take pictures of your family that have a storytelling quality to them, we want to hear from you. If you're skilled in the photography craft and want to start experimenting doing lifestyle shoots with friends and your community, we want to hear from you as well. The program is really open to everyone, so if you're interested, let nothing stop you from applying. All you need is a good eye for photography, desire to work with people, and curiosity to try, to learn, and do something new. So how does it work? To participate in This is Australia, this is what you'll need to do. First of all, you apply to become a contributor to Getty Images, and we'll talk about how you can do that. If you're approved, you can complete your enrollment and you can review the briefs that we've prepared, and we'll talk about it in detail as well. And then you can start shooting and uploading your content into the collection online using your Getty Images account. And once your content is used, you can earn royalty payments every time a customer licenses your picture. So now, in a bit more detail on each of those steps. What does being a contributor for Getty Images entail? And what is stock photography in general? First of all, Getty Images. We are the world's leading visual library. Our motto is moving the world with images. And all of those images that we do have in our library, stock images and editorial images, are created by the community of over 250,000 people around the world. And we invite you to join this community as well.
So what is stock? Stock is photography, video, illustration, and audio. Today we will talk about images and video more specifically, as this is the focus of the This is Australia collection. Every day you see thousands of images in magazines, brochures, packaging, pamphlets, posters, online and on TV. But very few of these images were created specifically for a single product, promotion, or concept. What you're seeing is stock photography. Stock photos are ready-made images that are licensable for use in advertising or promotional materials. They could be used in apps, websites, social media, TV, film, presentations, newspapers, magazines, books, and product packaging, among hundreds of other uses. When a customer downloads a file on Getty Images, they're buying a standard license that allows them to use the file for any personal, business, or commercial purposes that aren't otherwise restricted by the content license agreement. So here are some examples of how stock images are used. So those billboards you stand across from every day on your commute, chances are they're stock images. And half the images you see in Times Square or other major downtown districts in the world, like this example in Toronto, chances are a lot of these advertisements came from stock. From the guy's face up there to the seahorse up on the other side, or this picture of the CN Tower, potentially all stock images originally. So stock covers all areas of photography and can be broken down into the categories listed here: business, lifestyle, sports, nature, etc. As you can see, anything can be a stock image, and it's more likely to be successful if it's versatile, both from a technical perspective and usage perspective. So a strong concept that can apply to multiple industries will give your content the best chance of success. Like this example that denotes aspiration, determination, creativity, dreams, big picture, innovation, invention, etc., and could be used conceptually in sports, technology, education, travel, lifestyle, or even business.
A great thing about shooting stock photography is the flexibility. You can work whatever hours you choose. You can get involved casually or full-time. There are really no minimum upload requirements. You can find a niche and do what works for you. If you have a passion for food, then you can take food pictures. If you like working with children, upload those images as well. Obviously, the more you shoot, the better you get, and the more you will sell. Your images will sell globally. Getty Images has a network of offices in over 25 countries, and we sell images to almost every country in the world. This one, for example, sells in Europe, in the US, and in Russia as well. You will be surprised where images will turn up. And this is not all, of course. There is a lot more that you can get when you become a contributor to Getty Images through the This is Australia program. You get exclusive shoot briefs that are created based on commercial clients' needs, and you'll be able to create images for specific brands as well. You will access visual trends to get inspired and practical photo tips to improve your craft. You'll be able to join a global community of photographers working with Getty Images. And most exciting of all, here in Australia, you can participate in special events that Getty Images and Canon are putting on, with workshops and portfolio reviews part of that. They'll be held in Sydney in July and in Melbourne in October. Now, the important question we get asked quite often: how much can I earn? And the answer is it depends. The rate is 20% for royalty-free images and 25% for royalty-free video. And this is of the price that customer pays, which can vary. The more you shoot, the more relevant your content is, the more likely that it will stand out amongst other images and will be used. The more content you have on Getty Images, the more opportunities you will have to earn. An important question as well, whether you retain copyright of your work, and the answer is you absolutely do. We license images on your behalf, but you always retain their ownership. And you can read more about this using the links that are available on the website. An important thing about legal consideration, you need to be able to use the images commercially. With stock images being used by different customers for different stories, it's important that there are no specific brands that are visible in images. It could be logos or other trademarks. It's quite easy to remove them in post-production in Photoshop or other programs, and we provide more guidance for this when you join as a contributor, but this is just something to keep in mind. Another important consideration of stock photography is having the permission from people in the photos to sell their images. This is achieved by having model releases signed. It's pretty straightforward when you photograph your family and friends. They're usually supportive of your passion in photography after you explain what you're trying to achieve. So don't be intimidated. We also provide all the necessary model release forms, and once again, you will learn more about that when you officially become a Getty Images contributor.
So what should I shoot? And the answer is lifestyle, which means people engaging with the world around them in real and authentic ways. But we also want content that is suitable for advertising. Look at the advertising that exists around you and take note of the type of content that is used. Can you tell what is stock and what is shot specifically for that campaign? Try it next time you're standing on a train platform staring at advertising billboards across from you. And lastly, storytelling concepts. How can you portray concepts like freedom, togetherness, love, and collaboration using everyday people in everyday scenarios? So here are some examples of successful Australian stock photography. What do all these images have in common? They're all lifestyle images. They are snapshots, moments caught in people's lives. They appear authentic and hold strong concepts featuring a diverse group of Australians. Some of those concepts visible here are freedom, collaboration, togetherness, love, pride, innovation, and sustainability. Exploration, family, love, curiosity, learning, helping, sharing, the list goes on. But all of these concepts are strengthened by the fact that they involve an authentic human connection. Probably a good moment to reiterate that you will more likely get this authenticity by shooting your friends and family in situations and locations that are familiar to them, rather than hiring models in big budget locations. Now I'm going to very quickly run through the briefs that I've written this year to direct you towards the content that we have identified as being most in demand. This year there are 7 total photo and video briefs for you to work on, and we want you to shoot all content in Australia with diverse people from a range of ethnic backgrounds, different ages, religions, sexualities, abilities, gender, and body shapes. This level of diversity will give your content global appeal, whilst still being relevant to the needs of Australian businesses. So, brief number 1 for today is all about local travel in Australia. As renowned travellers and explorers, Australians do love to get around, including exploring their own backyard. So local travel is on the rise, and travel companies need you to get out there and photograph your off-the-beaten-track Australian holidays. Think road trips, winery tours, hiking, surfing, and city breaks. Think smaller cities and country towns, and travel in all seasons of the year. Repicturing gender is about breaking down those old stereotypes we're used to seeing in advertising. Companies want to stand out and show their commitment to creating positive change through advertising. This brief asks you to look at those stereotypes in relation to gender and flip them on their head. So everyday finance is about depicting first and foremost that finance is in order feeling. What does it look like to feel supported by your financial institution as a family buying their first home, or an individual starting a business, or a millennial preparing for their first overseas adventure? Tell human stories of warmth and trust. Depict modern payment technologies and professionals working in the finance industry. Repicturing disability in Australia is about authentically representing disability as a natural part of someone's identity, instead of something that needs to be fixed or overcome. Depict people with disabilities living and enjoying their everyday life, whether it be spending time with family and friends or working and going to school. The Multicultural Australia brief is a straight up lifestyle brief, which means you can shoot any scenario you like as long as it's authentic and includes real people and a mix of ethnic backgrounds. Australia is a very multicultural country, so look to capturing the lives and stories of a range of cultures that call Australia home. And we all aspire to living a more conscious life, whether it be personal fitness goals or a love for the environment, animals, or human rights. Some of these are personal choices, and others are spurred on by government policies or corporations making a stand. What does your sustainable life look like? Show us. And lastly, age is just a number. Our older generations are more fit and healthy than ever, and therefore living and working longer. They're also very underrepresented in stock imagery. Think about capturing a diverse mix of seniors and mature ages living life to the fullest. So, once you have applied and been accepted to contribute to Getty Images, you will have access to the Contributor Community website and the new Contributor app, where you'll find in-depth briefing documents for each of the 7 I've overviewed here. And remember, you can contribute both images and video content for all 7 briefs.
All right, so this all sounds exciting and you're interested to participate, and this is Australia, so how to join? These are the 4 simple steps. First, you download the app. It's called Contributor by Getty Images, and it's available on the App Store for Apple or Google Play for Android. Then you need to select some of the pictures that you have with lifestyle imagery, and it can be of friends and family. And then you upload that selection of 3 to 6 images onto the app, And remember to use the This is Australia invitation code when you apply, so we can see and fast track your application. And if you're successful, you will hear from us in about 2 weeks. We will send you an invitation to join us, to complete your enrollment, and it will start giving you access to all the systems that you need to start uploading your pictures onto Getty Images. I'm going to show you how it looks like. So this is the screen on the app that you have. Simply click on Get Started. This is the screen that you will see. Enter your details. And again, once very important, and enter the This is Australia invitation code. So your invitation can go through and we can pay attention to that. And this is simply a screen where you can see you can add photos, illustration, and videos that correspond to the briefs that Petra talked about.
All right, so in your initial application, you'll be asked to submit around 6 images or video clips so that we can get a good idea of your ability to work with people and your technical aptitude. So it is really important that you submit imagery that shows just that. This is why we ask that you do not submit street photography, where you've not engaged people prior to be part of your shoot. Once again, we iterate that friends, family, and people you know from your community make great, real, and authentic subject matter.
So to recap, 4 simple steps: download the application, shoot everyday lifestyle content that Petra talked about, make a selection of which ones you want to upload for us to review, and enter This is Australia code when you apply. And then once again, we hope you'll be successful and we'll be in touch with you. We do recommend to apply as soon as possible. As we mentioned, there will be events in Australia, and the one will be in July in Sydney and in October in Melbourne. More information about the program can be found on this website that you will see on your screen, canon.com.au/thisisaustralia. And we do encourage you to read the FAQ document as well to answer some of your questions. And if you have something specific that we haven't answered, drop us a line on this email that you see on your screen and we'll get back to you. So to wrap up, This is Australia is a really exciting photography program run by Getty Images and Canon. And we need you to help create this new visual library for our country. So if you're interested to take your photography to the next level, give it a go. We look forward to seeing your work and having you as part of this program. Good luck.